Welcome back into the Sports Source, this segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. The Haynes family and all the crew at Southeast Termite and Pest Control want to wish you and yours a terrific holiday season and a very, very Merry Christmas. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, I mentioned it as we went to break. Jeremy Pruitt this week was talking about the offensive coordinator search, which rolls on. It's now been a month. And he said, I'd rather talk about recruiting right now. You know, the offensive coordinator is sometimes overrated. You look and you watch these teams out here, and there are some of these teams that it probably doesn't matter who the offensive coordinator is based off talent or lack thereof. So I think the most important thing right now is recruiting. Okay, gentlemen, any reactions?
He obviously has a very low opinion of offensive coordinators, and I think it's interesting to point out, you know, Jeremy Pruitt has a very limited background in doing that. He was a head coach at Hoover, Alabama, and he said he called plays, and they ran, I believe it was the wing T. And if you think the offensive coordinator is underrated, overrated, whatever it is, tell that to Philip Fulmer. Look at Philip Fulmer's record with David Cutcliffe and without, and look at Philip Fulmer's last big hire, Dave Clawson. And how did that turn out? So it's surprising to me. It really is.
Well, Cutcliffe's a good example of why you would say it's not overrated, because with that losing record at Tennessee in 05, they hire Cutcliffe, they win 9 games, they win 10 games, they win the East, they lead the eventual national champion LSU in the SEC championship game in the 4th quarter. He leaves, they have a losing record. I'd even point to Lane Kiffin at Alabama. He took Blake Sims, who was kind of a journeyman player, and they were in the college football playoff with him, with Jake Coker, a Florida State transfer, with Jalen Hurts, a true freshman. Now, you get good ones, they're not overrated. If you get mediocre ones, like head coaches.
That's right.
Head coaches are overrated if they're mediocre.
Anything stand out to you?
I thought that he just didn't want to talk about offensive coordinator, and I don't know that he necessarily thinks it's overrated. He just didn't want to talk about it, wanted to get back to recruiting. But I also think he didn't have a warm and fuzzy relationship with his offensive coordinator this year at Tennessee.
My question would be, if you're an offensive coordinator out there, and you read this quote.
That's exactly where I was going.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Okay, you're out there trying to hire one of these guys, and you're already saying he's overrated before he ever steps foot on campus. To me, and I'm going to go with what Mike said, I don't think that was a thought-out comment. I think it was something to get his conversation he was having back on track with recruiting, and I don't think it was a great comment to make.
My concern is it does kind of fit a pattern with him in terms of what he said. From the Alabama game on, it all became I got to get new players in here. I got to get 25 new players. After the Vanderbilt game, he made the comment, you know, well, last year I was at Alabama and we beat these guys. Kind of, I know what I'm doing if you give me the players. And I thought, well, technically, if you give me Alabama's team, I'm guessing I could shut down Vanderbilt. And I don't know a thing about being a defensive coordinator, but I bet I could do it. I get a feeling, and there's a lot of truth to this, that he is a 100% Jimmy's and Joe's over X's and O's guys. Okay, that's terrific. But this ties back into that last segment. I'd rather have a guy who, if he doesn't have the 4 and 5 stars, can do what Gary Pinkel did for years at Missouri, what Barry Odom's doing at Missouri, who could do what James Franklin did at Vanderbilt, who could do what Dan Mullen did at Mississippi State, and that is, I don't have to have 4s and 5 stars. I'll really kill you once I get them, but if I don't have them, I'll still find a way to beat you.
Exactly.
This comment kind of meshes with the other stuff he said, I think.
Especially in terms of Jeremy Pruitt's success at Tennessee, this could be the biggest, most important hire he's ever going to make. And if he gets this wrong, come back and tell us it was overrated.
Well, maybe what he can tell the new guy. I said sometimes, but not this time. Not you.
You're the exception, man.
Yeah. Now I will say this: I do like the fact that he's not freaking out. I mean, you've got people they've already hit the panic button so often the panic button's broken. So I do like the fact he's like, I'll take care of that later. I just think he went a little too far with it.
But obviously,
the calm reaction I'm cool with.
And putting the emphasis on recruiting worked out pretty well.
It sure did.
So it's hard to criticize that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an odd statement. But all right, when we come back, we're going to talk SEC Bowl game. Still gifts for Rick Barnes, Jeremy Pruitt. Will Christmas be better in 2019 than 2018? We'll talk about a lot of stuff. Come on back on the Sports Source.